right now, mentality-wise. You guys have had a couple of tough games at home that really you could have won either one. How do you keep the North Star going in the right direction?
This is a Brazilian team. We don't harp on losses or we don't harp on wins. We just put one foot in front of the other and keep going.
Defense played pretty well and kept you in it. I don't know that you take much from that, but I mean that's the truth.
Yeah, but we're a team. If one play well, then we all play well, and then vice versa. So we just got to play better as a whole.
Defensively, just to come up short in a game like that, what is the frustration level after that?
I mean, on defense, we play with a very high standard. So, just the way for it to go out the way we did, it was just, it wasn't the way we wanted to go. We kind of had expectations of going out there and finishing the game, calling the game, but, it didn't turn out that way.
Dallas, in the fourth quarter, when you guys kind of had that sequence, you gained kind of coming up strong and really kind of changing the momentum. What was being said amongst you guys?
Just knowing, that we're big playmakers, on the defensive side of the ball, understanding, what's at stake of the game right now, just showing up, in the best way we can for our team, to make plays and kill momentum that they had going on.
It seemed like you were close all day to getting him obviously get the one sack. Just what was working for you personally today?
Just trusting in my plan going into this week, just listening to my coaches, just understanding, our opponent, but understanding yourself is first, and just understanding, just who we going against, how you want to rush a guy like that. Very mobile with his legs, very Houdini-like as well. But, it's just the plan, starting on Monday, last Monday, just starting understanding who we going against on Sunday. And, just the preparation that the coaches put us through throughout the week, it helps us execute on Sundays.
How much different is filling in for Jonathan versus when you were filling in for Andrew earlier this year? Is it similar or?
I mean, it's similar, but it's not at the same time. But, it's the same position, but it's not. One might be a little more rushing, one might be a little more dropping. Mm-hmm. But, it's still like a little mix and match of both skills, in one. But, just being able to play behind those two dudes and just learn the knowledge that I could get from those two guys and, just implement it in my game, going out there playing fast within the scheme and the defense, that flow calls. So.
I don't really know, to be honest with you. I think, just we were able to run the ball a little bit, and we some of the play action stuff and other things just weren't there. So, I think we need to figure it out as an offense. Is starting faster, and then not having to rely on moments like that to go down and score and have a bunch of guys make plays. So.
How do you stop from pressing when there's when you guys are having a hard time in the passing game, and just to kind of keep your emotions even keeled?
I think you just go one play at a time. You can't press, because if you do in this league, that's when bad things happen, and that's when you do things that our quarterback doesn't know what you're doing, and then that's when things become bad. But I think we just have to take one play at a time, do all 11 doing our jobs, and move forward from this. I mean, again, you lose the turnover battle 2-0. It's a tough game to win, and with thin margin of error, and that's what it came down to, was a thin margin of error.
In that 2-minute up-tempo drive, you guys seemed to kind of ginsu through. What was the difference there? Did you like that up-tempo? Did you sing the 2-minute all the time?
Yeah, I mean, we were able to move the ball pretty well there. It was nice to get that first one, get it rolling, break the backer a little bit, take the inside. I think there's some things obviously we want to fix on that, but I think getting that play started, and then Jordan on the fourth down, and then just keep moving the ball forward in those situations, and it gets the quarterback in a rhythm, gets everybody in a rhythm. So, and then you keep playing from there.
TJ, how did you see kind of JJ navigate that one? I mean, it got tough for long stretches there, and just trying to keep his composure as he's working through and figuring things out.
The game you're talking, or the last? Yeah, I think he kept coming over to the sideline and just saying, it's on. It's on. We're good. We got to keep rolling. We'll move the ball, and next drive, and that was kind of our mentality each time, and that's our mentality every time we play a game. Is hey, if that play didn't work, move on, and look forward to the next one. They're all 11 doing their job, and then we'll get it rolling. because all we need is a little spark in this offense, and you know that we can roll just like we did there at the end.
The way this defense has been playing all year, but also today, when you knew the offense was struggling, then you guys put together that nice kind of sequence there. You had Gink, you also had Dallas. What is it about this defense that you know, like when your offense is pressing, that you guys can kind of change the momentum?
I feel like we got to learn from today. We played, decent to probably the public eye, but we want to get turnovers and things like that. So coming out the game with no turnovers, knowing that they had one or two, I think you don't want to lose a turnover battle in these type of games. So I think we just got to focus on turnovers now.
And you felt that there was sometimes too it was ripe for the picking. Right? Like if you can just get a turnover here and hit the end zone, this game could kind of go the other way in a blowout as well. Yeah. Those missed opportunities that we were talking about.
We definitely have a lot of missed stops out there. Tip balls, tip passes. We feel like we got to go make those type of passes and interceptions. But I feel like also you got to punch the ball out. Little things like that can go a long way.
What is the kind of the atmosphere now for you guys? I know there was struggles mid-game, but the fact that you can bring it close. I know it's a division game, your first loss in the division. Yeah. What's the feeling right now?
I just got to respond, put this game to bed, just enjoy the rest of the day. We have a long day, so pretty much be with the family and things like that, but reset tomorrow, put this game behind us, and look forward to another division game next week.
Thank you. I think some things did click across the board. We just got to find a way to start a little faster. Just overall, find a way to create some turnovers on defense, and we still had a shot there at the end while losing the turnover battle. So there's a lot of good there. We just got to start faster.
I know it's not monumental. 200 games is one team, and I know that the game you're probably thinking back to the game, but give us some perspective. 200 games in one uniform is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's something I didn't set out thinking to do, but being in a small group of guys that have done it with the Vikings is pretty special. Just to be mentioned amongst those guys. Got to see Studwell and Carl Eller before the game, take a picture with them. So stuff like that it'll mean a lot more as I age and get away from football, but it's hard not to think about the game right now, and that's why I'm here.
I just think back to you and Khalil that when they introduced you, and all of a sudden you just zip right through it. You're the veteran, the seasoned veteran in this locker room. Like I said, you're the one guy that's seen Eden Prairie and here and kind of seen it all.
Yeah, there's a ton of memories. Look around here and see some guys I've played with. A lot of ups, downs, struggle, success. But to still be in it it's what it's about. So I'm focused on being in it right now.
Harry, what's the body odometer, not the game odometer?
Yeah. The body? It's at 200.
I do feel younger than the 200 is what I'm saying?
I don't know who to compare it to, really, but I feel pretty good. I do a pretty good job turning my body over and pretty conscious about what I do and what I don't do, which has changed a lot over the years. I saw Tom Brady before the game, and I was like, I'm sure I could probably still learn something from him for sure. He probably played about 400 games. So, I feel all right.
Hydration and pliability, right?
Of course.
Quarterback safety.
One more question. What the Achilles heel, I know everyone talks about takeaways, but also third and long for this defense. What do you think? I know it's all different. It's not all one issue, but what do you see on that?
I think I'm not sure I feel like we've done a good job most of the year, but you got to get off the field in those situations, no matter what the scenario is, making tackles, being tighter in coverage, whatever it may be, whatever the call is. We've been in good calls, we just got to execute better.
Pearson, did it mean to have your wife and the kids would be part of the day?
Yeah, that's something special that will be pretty cool to look back on for a long time. My wife was pretty nervous, so I'm glad it looked like she did a good job, and the kids as well. So it was pretty cool. It's kind of like weird. When I'm 23 getting drafted here, you don't think about those things. So yeah, it's pretty special.
Your son didn't look too happy at first going up to the horn.
Yeah, he wasn't happy all day. I saw him on the field earlier, and I think he had dropped his ball he was looking for. He'll be all right.
Thank you.
symbolize kind of the frustration?
Yeah.
Of a loss like that?
Yeah. Anytime, especially division game at home, anytime you lose at home, the way we did, take me back to, what was that, a couple years ago, we lost field goal, same way, at home. Obviously not a good feeling, being where we are in our season, losing a game like that where we had a chance to win. So, yeah, definitely frustrated.
We keep hearing losing the turnover battle really determines the game. And you guys pride yourself on takeaways, but to lose the turnover battle, also have struggles on 3rd and long. What do you see on those two issues?
Yeah, just gotta find a way. I think our football philosophy says it all. We're all about the ball, first thing we see on the board when we come in OTAs. And for us not to be able to get that done on a consistent basis, I don't know where our turnover ratio ranks throughout the year, turnover differential, but it's not good, and we got to find a way to start taking the ball away on defense, and we got to find a way to stop turning the ball over on offense, and that's a team stat, and when you do that, when you lose it, you lose the game.
You had Genk, you had Dallas kind of applying the pressure at the end there, close almost all game long to the end there, and that kind of changed the momentum. So you guys know that you have that still, that ability to change that whole energy of the game.
Yeah, we know the team we have, the way this team built, we know when we're firing on all cylinders, we have a chance to impact the game and give ourselves a chance to win, as we did today. We just got to find a way to do that for 60 minutes and limit these type of situations where we do give the kicker a chance to put a ball through the uprights and call game. So, whenever we could find a way to play, all right, Tutu, congrats, baby. Whenever we could find a way to play all 11 and, be able to band together and play 60 minutes of good football, that's when we find ourselves on the winning column.
How cool is it to be on the field with Harrison, his 200th game?
Yeah, man, it's amazing. We talking about, me and Murph joked about this week how far we are just from 100. We're not that far actually, but we haven't even played half the games he's played, and be on the field with a guy with that kind of experience, that kind of impact, just that kind of person is special. And as you can see, I'm gonna shout him out any chance I get, because that's a special guy.
And I joked with him and asked him about the body odometer. Like, how do you feel? And he goes, it feels like 200.
Yeah.
But does that impress you too, as a guy that, like you said, you're so far away from 100?
Yeah. And I think it's just his love for the game, and that's why he's our captain. That's why he's our leader. A guy who's dedicated and devoted to helping the team win and putting his body on the line 200 times. And the game we play, especially the way he plays, you just salute to him, and you stand behind him, and you want to fight and go to war with him.
I know it's a loss, and I know that it's hard to digest right now, but are there any positives that you guys take away that you were still in this one, still close, in this division battle after it all? Yeah,
I think our schedule, the teams we play, the caliber of teams we play, that was a good football team we played just now. And they've been on a roll, and they've been figuring out ways to win football games, late in games, like they've done the past couple weeks. And anytime you get a game where you toe-to-toe and you still find a chance to win even though things aren't going your way, it lets you know as a team you're heading in the right direction. We just got to get there a little faster.
Josh is a veteran in this group. Do you say anything to J.J. McCarthy, just like how he navigates the ups and downs?
For sure.
Frustrations?
Yeah.
How do you help him
get
through that?
Yeah, obviously I'm not on the offensive side, so I can't speak too much for, what plays look like and what they do, but I can help him, navigate his emotions, his mindset, his football IQ, outside of the offense and defense, just being able to navigate what it feels like to play in an NFL game, and if things aren't going your way, to do this, and if things are, how do you combat that, and playing off each other. And he has the right mindset. He is the reason why we keep getting to these fourth quarters and we still find ourselves a win. Our quarterback has the right mindset to flush whatever's happened before and move on, and next play is the next play is the best play. And I think he already has the right mindset. It's all about the next 52 guys, bringing them on and giving all of our experiences to him so he can further his development and his growth.
It's hard to hear many times loud boos.
Yeah, for sure.
For the home team.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. We haven't played good at home all year, and when things aren't looking good, when we don't play the kind of ball we need to play, I don't blame the fans for being frustrated as well. We're frustrated. So yeah, that's just literally the noise that we can't speak. The fans are speaking. So we'll figure it out. We'll get those boos, the cheers very soon.
next time we get back in this building.
Stopping the runner for 2 yards instead of 5 or 6, like offenses can just stay in that mode and just take what we're giving them.
Did they show a lot of those looks in that drive?
Yes, yeah, my memory is correct. I believe so.
We were talking earlier about how you guys still have the power, though, to change the game. Like when Gink and then when Dallas got those sacks, and then the pressure just was coming on, and then you could just feel the momentum changing. To still have that, though, as a team, as a defense, and to see where you guys are. I know it's frustrating you lost, but that you can change the game. Does that help you guys going forward?
Absolutely. We always talk about this team, this defense, where we got the right guys, we're made of the right stuff, and I don't care what adversity, what challenges we're facing in the game. This defense is always going to be in attack mode, and we're going to fight and claw our way by any means necessary to try to put us in a winning position. But it's the mindset of never being out of the fight, no matter how the game's going. And that's kind of how we operate and work and prepare throughout the week, and that's the mindset we come in on game day with.
And for you personally, I think you have over 50 tackles since week 9. You've just been kind of in a zone. What has that been for you?
Being in the middle of the defense, just trying to be involved as much as possible in every play. Playing a little pissed off with, teams getting big and just trying to run the ball. I wasn't aware of any stat line for me this game. It's too, the game just ended, but I would like to see myself be a little more stout on a few of those plays. I think collectively with our defense right now, what we're struggling with is allowing this leaky yardage. Guys are, maybe getting out blocks or getting out blocks late, but, we're tackling or hitting the ball carrier and he's falling forward for 4 or 5 yards, and guess what? Then they're going to do it again, and then they're just going to throw quick game, and it's making it too easy on offenses. So, we just got to correct those things, and I think we'll start having really good control of the football game from a defensive standpoint.
Which leads to the Achilles heel of 3rd and long, kind of.
Absolutely, and that's the one thing we need. If we can make one thing happen on defense that would totally change the course of the season and how these games are looking, is we got to force teams to get into positions where they have to absorb risk, and that starts by kicking ass on early down. And if we can make teams get in those positions, I think we're gonna be taking the ball away, getting back to that disrupted defense that we once were.
What does it mean to you to be on the same field with Harry when he hits 200 games?
Yeah, it's really special. I told him before the game, I said that's sick, man. Like I'm at a loss of words. Like not many people get to have that privilege, and that's a testament to everything he's done in his career, not only on the field but off the field, and take care of his body. And he's a very special player, and he's a special guy too.